Yep. Give me a minute. Getting a couple things situated, but give me a second. Whoa. We gonna get this show on the road. Whoa. In February. You said February? Huh? Talk to her about that, right? Huh? So you can plan. So y'all can talk about it for it. Or at least she know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. You should I was playing that with her, babe. For at least she'll know. Peace. Man, let me see if my glasses clean. Man, we had a busy day this morning. Well, pretty much laid back day today. But I want to give honors to everyone. I want to give honors for my gifts. Thank you. I love my bracelets. I love the culture on my bracelets. I got some other gifts that was given to me. But give me 1 second. Yeah, I will call, man. back. Sorry about that. I'm back. But yeah, peace to everyone, man. Like I told him, I thank you for my gifts, my cultural gifts. I want to say gratitude. I'm always give gratitude. I got another gift from my Tibetan partner, and you see the head in there. So I want to give gratitude, 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 gratitude for the gifts of love. It's always good to be recognized by your people and elders and brothers and sisters from all around the globe that I have the pleasure to converse with and do these speaking with in my regular life out here in Arizona as I continue to travel and as I continue to meet different people and different cultures and just share history from an unbiased place. Let me get my tea and everything over here. So I want to say gratitude for that. But with that being said, peace and love to everybody, to everyone. No matter what's going on in your everyday life, is always have an opportunity to get better if you align yourself with truth, if you align yourself with history, if you take care of yourself, you're going to always be in a position to get it right. But I like to give some ground rules when I jump on here and do these lectures because I like to stay in context. I don't mind people asking questions long as it's in context, but I'm not here to debate or have a discussion with any one religious perspective or any one religious dogma of what someone think, of what someone said, because a lot of people say things, but the truth will make you free. And it's only one truth, it's only one science, it's only one prophet. I don't care about a whole bunch of people that call themselves sheiks and they make ID cards for people and they say this and that and other. I'll have nothing to do with that. I can care less about cosmetics because no one can nationalize you or denationalize you. That means nothing to me. I don't care about a person with some travel ID card. That means nothing to me. I care about how you living in your life. And if those ID cards really mean something, well, why are these brothers and sisters still struggling? Our prophet and our teachings tell us, stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Your ID is for your salvation. And failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. It's only one temple. And when people making up ID cards and all that, it's not from the temple. Now, my school is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, and we have our own school ID and our temple ID, but I also have my 3 pieces of ID from the Moorish Science Temple of America. I don't even travel with them. There's no need. We have a temple ID, we have a member ID, and we have our tax exempt ID card. 1 second, I might find it real fast. And then we got all our paperwork, which I have all my adapt paper. But I don't like to keep pulling it out because I don't even ride with that stuff because it's for your salvation only. And you have all these different temples in different areas. You got temples in Chicago. You have a plethora of temples in Chicago, and them brothers don't even operate together. So what's the purpose? So with that being said, I like to stay on topic. Remember, no one can nationalize you or denationalize you. It'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers and forefathers. If you meet somebody on the internet and they print ID cards, so what? It don't mean nothing. I promise you. No man and no woman, they not no consulate. It's all fake. It's all cosmetics. I promise you. It's only one temple. Only the Moorish Science Temple give out member cards, unless you have your own temple in school like I do. And it's just what it is. Those ID cards that people be having, it's not going to do nothing. You're not going to get no money. All this paperwork, oh, I got to fill this trust and do all that. Can't no individual do that for you. It's just not real. And they can be butthurt all they want to. It's not real. And if you think that's real, I really, really, really feel sorry for you and these grown adults. I really, really feel sorry for those individuals that play on people misintelligence or miseducation, thinking that someone can nationalize you or denationalize you. That's very, very, very sad. And we only do that to our own misnomer melanated people. And that's a sad thing to do. So with that being said, I'm gonna talk about a couple of topics because I say we are one nationality, many cultures. I love my prophet Noble Drew Ali, but I'm cultured. I come from culture. I have a cultural background. You know, I'm a medicine man. I deal with the ancient ones. I deal with my Tasawwuf brothers and sisters. I deal with Sheikh Bamboo Falls. I'm a Sufi. I deal with my Twahedo people. I deal with my Abyssinian brothers and sisters. I have to. I'm cultured. I'm cultured. I give credit to Noble Drew Ali. You were the Moor way before our prophet Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali just created the Moor Science Temple of America. I give prophet credit. Another one of my prophets that's gone is Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley of the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research that brought a lot of science to myself to show us how man is made in the image of the creator. I have a lot of God men that I've learned my skills and my wisdom from. That's why I created my own school. Noble Drew Ali wasn't all knowing. As I showed y'all all the books that the prophet used to put the Moorish Quran together. So that clearly tell you the prophet wasn't all knowing. He was a great man, but he wasn't all knowing because there was great men before him. And there's going to be great men after me. And that's what I try to tell brothers. But we get so caught up in this, oh, well, Noble Drew Ali said this. Man, I don't care about no couch potato. I don't care about those brothers, those temple Moors. I'm from the temple. A lot of them brothers are not from the temple. And if they are from the temple, they're not telling you the truth. They're mixing truth with falsehood. So I'm gonna give a little introduction into a little adapt wisdom. And then I'm gonna get into this demonstration. You must remember, brothers and sisters, that information is knowledge, necessary, useful, insight, the know how to, and subsequently, information is power. Theoretically, the absence or lack of power can be tied indirectly, at least, to the absence and the lack of knowledge, of insight, and the ability to make prudent decisions. Life, peace, Noble Lamarck, life free. Life is one continuous process of learning, of growing, developing, accomplishing new things, overcoming new challenges. There must be some inner source of inspiration, something that motivates you to try to do and to achieve. This ain't got nothing to do with no whole bunch of goofy Moors talking about, well, Noble Drew Ali said this, and then this person did Moorish, and this person did this. Man, that is not Moor science. That's niggardly stuff. I don't waste my time with a whole bunch of poor people talking about they this, and this person not no consulate general, and you see, or this person not this. And when you go on all these Moorish pages, they are arguing with each other. How can that be? How can that be a group of brothers that's supposed to be under the same science arguing with each other? And then they making blasphemous posts about the misnomer white man because they're in a place of hurt. They're in a place of hurt. They're not operating on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They can be. Clearly, you can be. You can be. So I stay away from all that niggardly stuff. I stay away from it. I protect my spirit more than anything because my spirit means something. And a lot of these brothers are just not going to be factual. Their aptitude is not there. I call these brothers paper terrorists. They are sovereign citizens on welfare. They are sovereign citizens on welfare. I'm telling you what it is. They not no professional in no Bitcoin. They not no professional in no Forex. That's all fugazi. They can't nationalize you or denationalize you. It's all trash. What they doing is trying to hustle you out of your money that they always try to throw around fiat, fiat, fiat. Okay, well, how you living? How you brushing your teeth? How you feeding your babies? And the woman that you stay with is on Section 8 and welfare, and her rent is $13.99. And you on the internet talking about some overthrowing the government with your goofy self. And these goofy Moors talking about they can do this and do that because they angry, because they don't really want to study. And so they make things up as they go. Has nothing to do with the prophet, has nothing to do with the teachings. Because if it was, they'd be sharing how the temple was set up. If they were, they'd be showing you real documents like I give everybody to show you that the 1099 ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow, It's a religious affidavit. And this is, you can get this from the CCRD. But these brothers will lie to you in your face to send you in the burning house. And it's sad. Then these brothers say that they don't pay taxes and all this fake stuff. But then it's brothers that call themselves sheiks in Chicago that went to prison for trying to show people how to file fake taxes. And they know it. I don't have to say their names. Y'all know who they are. If you were dealing with me, you would know who they are. How can you have 5 and 6 Moorish Science temples of America in Chicago and none of them brothers deal with each other? It should be just one. You don't need 8 Moorish Science temples of America in Chicago. That clearly tell you that these brothers acting like Crips and Bloods and they can't do nothing together. And I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no part of no Negro on the internet talking about they some chic and I'm nationalizing people. Man, you a lie. That paperwork, man, I'll burn up in your face. And it's just facts. I don't care how no one feel about what I'm saying. We can't be that retarded as an adult. We can't be. We can't be. What happens when there is no inner drive or a person's self-esteem is destroyed? How are people born facing overwhelming institutional disadvantages from the start and able to overcome those hindrances and achieve some measures of success in life, when a lot of people come from dictator countries and they become doctors and lawyers and professionals? And you got these Negroes that have been here all their life talking about, oh, the white man and they finna overthrow some government and the money is fiat. Man, how are you living? You never thought about that for one tittle of a second? I don't think so. We may be forced to change our perception of education, knowledge, of getting training and becoming proficient in different areas in order to put our children, our households in a position better to not only survive, but to thrive in rapidly evolving and changing societies. We all have enough intelligence to look at the challenging world around us and understand the effects of the changes that are taking place in this country and around the world. We know that we are in a time of astounding and phenomenal changes in technology and different forms of information. The microcomputer is becoming more essential in many areas of life, and it is conceivable that within a few years, basic computer literacy will be an absolute requirement to engage in normal daily activities involving work, handling of business affairs, and perhaps most importantly, the ability to acquire information and knowledge necessary to survive. I call it the survival period. And we cannot afford to continue to allow our children to be influenced by a complete, disordered, twisted, debilitating understanding of why they need some form of usable education. We cannot be dealing with these Negroes, or I dropped out of school in the 3rd grade, or education is some white man stuff. You are a fool. Or the government and the laws, but then you trying to use the laws that govern the world to try to promote your bull crap. And then when you go to court, you go into jail. Why it's necessary for them to acquire information and training that will allow them to be able to live a better life, take advantage of more opportunities, to interact on an intellectual and an intelligent level with the rest of the more than 6 billion people on earth. I'm not just dealing with no whole bunch of poor Moors. I can care less. When I travel, I don't care if no brother got a fez on. That don't make me. I do business in life. I do commerce. I do real business. I'm a business. I operate as a business. I come on here and talk to the people because this is part of my community service. And I ask my people for a small donation to our temple and school. I have businesses. I'm an educator, a counselor, a brother to people, a sheikh, a shaman, a divine minister. Man, my mufti's on YouTube. I'm on my YouTube page. Anybody on my Facebook page, they'll tell you I give away so many suits to brothers that need suits. I fill backpacks up with supplies every year and donate. I go to the prisons and talk to brothers, you know? I don't, because we shouldn't be broke. It's no reason that we should be broke. What we do, we are wasteful. We are wasteful individuals. And when I tell people words are spells, we will cast a spell on ourselves saying that we broke. And I say, we not broke. How? Because look how we living. I bet you we have a mortgage. I bet you we have a car. So we wasteful. We wasteful. And a lot of people that deal with me don't support. you're going to look up and can't even log on my pages anymore. And it's no disrespect to no one, because I don't like dealing with people that's laudering. I don't like people that piggyback. Because when we go to clubs, I bet you everybody on here have been to clubs and go to movies, go to concerts and things. They are saved to do those things. But they'll jump on here and every day, and the first thing we'll say is what we don't have. You done cast a spell on yourself while you go have niggertainment, while you will go save to go on a trip. You will go save to go to the club. You will save to go to the movies. You will save to go out to eat. You will save to buy some tennis shoes. But is that doing anything for you? The individual misnomer black man got way more tennis shoes and clothes in a closet and don't go nowhere. You don't even wear out the shoes that you have in the closet before you go buy another pair. And that's what I tell people. I say, man, I'm not here for nobody to like me. I'm a realist. Just like, man, get the book Powernomics by Claude Anderson. I'm going to lecture that tomorrow. Powernomics by Claude Anderson. Everybody, yeah, they might have it, but they ain't never touched it. Claude Anderson speak just how I speak. He say, man, y'all black people, misnumbered black people is wasteful. If we didn't have nothing, how can a group of people give 200 million to a political party in a week? How can I come into your house and go in your closet and you have more money in your closet than your bank account? You have more money outside in the driveway than your bank account. We waste money and we don't support nothing that's real. That's the difference from me and the people I deal with in Arizona and my European Jews. They split their money 3 ways because charity is first with them. Charity is number uno with them. That's the people I work with. But what we'll say is we don't have this. And I say, you got a cell phone. We paying for the internet, because if you weren't paying for something, you wouldn't be on here. You wouldn't have internet access. We pay for things that a lot of times we don't even use. And it's just a fact. So I know when I talk to my people, and I'm not talking specifically to no one, but I'm saying we are wasteful. And a lot of our people are nothing but lauders. They piggyback on things. And that's why I say I block people. And then I bring people that's going to replace people that really want to work. Because I don't care about social media. I really don't. I do this in real life. My day started at 5 a.m. this morning. I jump on here and try to share with my people. And then I try to bring people. I say, if y'all give donations, you can be my guest every Saturday and Sunday to my systematically class. You can be my private guest on StreamYard and sit with myself and all my members and my mother and my father and my other members of the tribe. Because I'm going to be done doing this in a minute. I'm trying to court people. And I do this with small donations. I bet you when a lot of us was going to the so-called Christian church, I bet you didn't have no problem with giving no money and putting it in a tithe box when they do tithes and offering, even if you wasn't a member or a friend invited you to their church or whatever. I bet you went up there and put some money in that tithe box. I bet you did. I bet you everybody on here did. It was like, oh, I'm going to church. I got to put something in the tithe box. I guarantee you. But we get on here and be lazy. And that's why I say I don't cast a spell on myself. I'm not broke. I don't even know what broke is. I don't even know what that is. Not when I have a mind. Can't be broke. What we doing, we settling. No disrespect to no one. No disrespect to no one. I'm going to give a little bit more of that wisdom and I'm going to get to it. And I'm going to say it again. If you like the teachings, don't hesitate to give a donation to our temple and school. Why not? Why not? Why not? That'd be the first thing people do is say what they don't have. And we go give our money away in 1.2 seconds on stuff that's meaningless. On stuff that's meaningless. We go out to eat every day and got a refrigerator full of food. Why you don't cook? We go to work and every time for lunch, what do? We go, oh, I got to go get lunch. You should be food prepping. I know people spend more money at work than at home. You go to work, buy lunch, buy dinner, then come home. We wasteful. And we're not going to, our economics, how are you going to build a nation without finances? I told y'all, if nobody got the book Powernomics, I'll make sure you get it. It's by Claude Anderson. It got a whole section in there about the misnomer black church. And I lecture, I say, the only thing we're supposed to own is our churches and our schools. If people really got behind the mission and then I teach tax codes, because the money that you're giving to Uncle Sam, it goes to a private banking system. It doesn't go to run the United States of America. And when you donate to my temple and school, I give you a tax exempt receipt to offset your taxes when you get to your tax preparer. But in each state, you have to give a certain amount of money to offset your taxes, to pay less money to Uncle Sam and these facts. And a lot of our brothers and sisters is just not educated on finances. They're just not. We are out Pope the Pope. We are out Muhammad. Negro to get on here and try to tell me something, and all they do is go to work. Somebody try to tell me about business and never done business, never educated in business. Somebody try to tell me about spirituality and history and linguistics and not even educated in it. Somebody try to tell me about indigenous people, law and policy, and is not even educated on it because they watched a YouTube video. And I'm an educator in this. The audacity of our people, because we think we know something. The audacity. And if I can get you to think, you can save yourself. We must believe in the capacity of our group to succeed. We need to get rid of our desire, but focus and concentrate those powers into different and more beneficial directions. It was a philosopher is said to have taken a student who desired out waist deep in the water and then asked the student, what do you want more than anything in the world? To which the student is said to have replied, knowledge. That's what everybody say. I say, okay. Then the teacher grabbed him by his head and pushed him under the water until the young man almost ceased to struggle, letting him up and waiting for him to regain his composure. The teacher asked the student again, when you were under the water, what did you want more than anything in the world? The student replied, the thing I wanted more than anything was, sir, air. So the lesson in what I'm saying is, when you want knowledge, the way that the young man desired air, that is when you will get it. But when we don't support our brothers and sisters that come on here willing to do the work, what can we expect? I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be gone. And that's what I tell people. We don't desire wisdom like if I was dunking you underwater and you couldn't breathe and I pull you up and I ask you, what did you desire most? And you say, I desire that air. And the lesson is, when you want knowledge, the way that that young man desired air, that is when you will get it. That is when you will get it. Because a lot of us are wasteful. I'm not saying a lot of us that have been in situations that people took advantage of us, because I deal with everybody in a personal situation and everybody is not in the same situation. I know people that's wasteful. I know people that got a bag. I know people that messed their finance up chasing a dollar, and their spirit wasn't right and they've been hustled by their own people. I know a plethora of people. I got professors that deal with me that give way more than my ministers because they know the law and the tax codes and they don't want to give it to Uncle Sam and I give them a tax exempt receipt. I deal with all people in life. So what we must have, we must want it like air. We must want knowledge like air. Wisdom like air, success like air, freedom, justice, and equality like air. That's where our ancestors came from. That is how our forefathers and predecessors endured hard trials and overcame tremendous and some of the most difficult obstacles. We here in America and say we don't have nothing, and a person can come over here on the boat from a dictator country and supersede us in less than a couple years. I don't operate like that. I don't operate like that. I give way more than I ask people for. I know that for a life. I know that for a fact, And much of the world does look to America as the light of leadership. For untold millions, it represents hope, that which gives life and expression to the very ideal of freedom. You got these Moors that talk about they're going to expatriate from this de facto government, then you stateless. You got to be a clown. America is the only place that you can have nothing and be something. The great migration is when we all take over a community and we feed off each other. That's the great migration. The great migration ain't going to the continent of Africa that nobody know nothing about. Please. There are instances where far too much is made of names or designations and titles. Confusion is the usual outcome. At its vital importance, discussions are lost in issues of semantics. When I say, man, I don't play no semantics, you can't get me caught up in no linguistic apartheid, because I know these average Negroes on the internet that say they can nationalize you and denationalize you. I know they poor mentally and spiritually and definitely physically. The meanings of the word and phrases. When you don't understand etymology and etymon, you got a whole bunch of retarded Moors with a whole bunch of Black Laws dictionary. And they never go in an arena of court with that trash. If America is to ever live out to the true meaning of her creed, then this we must understand, even from the very foundation of this country. There have always been unique, distinguished types of citizens who believe in a type of freedom, a level of civilization most Americans have yet to fully appreciate it. The American idea has yet to be fully unfolded into reality for all of her people. This has not been lost on the men and the women who throughout our history have given everything, like myself, including our lives, to make freedom a reality. It has been a long and difficult process, and there are even greater challenges in front of me. I know this. We must reassess our values, renew our communities, and reconsider our purposes. One of the most important individual responsibilities that we are knowledgeable and informed enough to be able to assess assets to our community, our country, our families, our friends, that we position ourselves to always be part of finding and implementing solutions rather than to be found among those who always manage to create more problems than they solve. When these people be coming into them in more science and then they start creating more problems than they can solve, they lose everything. They get their head bust. They out here driving without no license, talking about, oh, I can drive without light. Man, go sit down somewhere. The foundation stone is set in the true knowledge of self, and every excuse is then taken away. We may believe what others say, but in that manner, never truly know. If man would know, he must or she must herself be what he or she knows. And this highlights the absolute necessity for each individual's investment in personal enrichment and preparation by study, research, and the most diligent inquiry, honest living, and unfeigned sincerity. If we would just choose instead of speak and live positively, we will see things in a very different light. There is a powerful, overlooked connection between speaking and thinking. We cannot see the light, walk in the light, or be the light if we insist on speaking and living in the ways of darkness. Perhaps this is the very reason why our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and why I understand that we need it more than anything, what? To learn to love instead of hate. Or what benefit is it to speak despairingly of others? How can we determine the hearts of people that we have never met? It's foolishness, and the wise man leaves no time for foolishness. Neither should we ever put everyone into the same category or judge everyone in that manner. I judge people how? By off what they say, about how they operate. When people say they don't have this and that, and I go on their Instagram page or their YouTube page or their Facebook page, and I see they smiling like a Cheshire cat, and they at the clubs and they got bottles and they got all designer things, and the first thing they do and come on here and say, well, I don't have nothing. I know you don't, because you're wasteful. You won't be here long. I'm a grown person. I don't mean no disrespect, and I'm not for everyone. But I know when our people be playing, I know when our people, they don't think wisdom is worth anything. The first thing they'll say is what they don't have. And we have everything. Because if you didn't have nothing, you would be in a poorhouse. You would be living in a YMCA. You would be eating ramen noodles or zoom zooms and wham whams every day. But you don't. Zoom zooms and wham whams. My empress be cracking up at me. But it's the fact. We have way more than what we think. But we cast a spell on ourselves. That's what the most individuals do. They cast spells on themselves. And then they come on here and then they try to plead themselves to the court while they go spend money with others that don't give a damn about them, that can't do nothing for them, can't even educate their children, can't even align you in the right way. I say we wasteful. The object of our organization is to help in the great work of uplifting fallen humanity and to teach those things necessary to make better citizens of men and women. Like, I'm getting ready to be 48. I tell people I'm an elder. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been to all the religious houses. I done traveled all over on my own dime. The actual underpinnings of America's free national form of citizenship and government are little understood or known by most Americans in general, and a misnomer African Americans in particular, and the so-called Moorish Americans specifically. used in different fraternal, occult, mystical, Masonic type philosophical groups. Several of their doctrines define the great work in similar language, usually with ultimate references to the entire body of humanity's spiritual restoration. Like, oh, I don't even have my Rosicrucian manual on. And when you look at, let me see, I'll show y'all something real fast. When I deal with a lot of my Rosicrucian science, like right here, and people like, oh, he got on the cross, he got on the Christian cross. I said, man, our brothers are not even educated. When I deal with my Rosicrucian, with my science, we deal with the heart. It's symbology. And most people have no idea of nothing. The first thing they try to say, oh, he took an oath. Boy, I'm initiated. I'm into high science that you just don't know. And that's why a lot of people are out here operating in their lower selves. And when I come with supreme wisdom. The European, the Albion, the Trailer is not the one that created all this stuff. I show y'all what our Moorish Quran is contrived of, but we stay in the lower self because we're not initiated into the wisdom. It's just what it is. No disrespect. Once again, I'm always tell the truth. It's just what it is. That's what we must have. We must want it. All is wisdom like air. That's how it most go. We must love ourselves. We must love everyone. It's the only way. We got to use intelligence, spiritual restoration to a plane of life and intelligence unknown since the proverbial fall of man, and neither have accomplishments in man's spiritual growth or other notable work been confined to any one particular group, despite many fantastic claims. The greater the number of everyday people that come to realize who they are and the untapped potential that is available to enable you to better your conditions, the more clearly you will understand and appreciate what I'm bringing to the world, what the world expects from us, and why. All indications are that our prophet and how I teach, above all others, believe in restoration and salvation through what? Re-education, nationalization, and spiritual rebirth. The Egyptian adapts, like myself and others. We successfully combine all the necessary and divergent elements of knowledge, information, and divine wisdom into a philosophical synthesis that was designed to accomplish our mission. I'll give a little bit more of that wisdom, and then I'm going to proceed. In an intelligent tone, like unto trees of gold arranged in beds of silver, our wise synthesis uttered in due season. But in today's world of things deemed vitally important, effective communication is critical. A workable knowledge and effective use of language is essential. And for the contemplation of spiritual realities, a refined intelligence is indispensable. What discloses the level of insight that we have genuinely attained more accurately than our choice of words or the tone of our conversations. We are often argumentative when we should be consolatory, loud and abrasive when soft-spoken and reasonable would be more effective. The cultivating of the mind without wisdom, useful knowledge, and understanding concerning the correct principles of application enhances the continuance and enriches the all of life. Philosophy is the contemplative study of nature, of human knowledge, and human values. But that is not a complete or contemporary definition. In modern usage, philosophy is a pursuit of personal knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. What my look, I'm on my other page. He was like, yeah, I writing all them names down. Don't block everybody off the page. I got one of my homeboys now that watch everything on my page, and he see what happening. I'm always going to be honest and truthful because I share everything with everybody. I don't have nothing to hide. I don't care. What he do, he see how many times people been following me and been on my page, and they don't like to support it nothing. And so I was telling one of my homeboys, one of the nobles that I met, and he's on my Facebook page. When I tell people, I don't have brothers follow me for 5 years and keep talking about they broke and doing this, and they be out in the clubs doing this, acting a fool, talk about they dealing with Forex and Bitcoin, hustling people, and then say they don't want to donate. And I say, dude, I have my guy block them, and a lot of them in prison right now, right now. So I'm not here for that. I'm not here for no disrespect. I'm here for a reason. And I tell y'all the specific reason. And I tell people how they deal with me. This is my charity. Just like if you go into a church, would you give a donation? Yep. And then you'll go home and talk about the pastor like, oh, he crazy, he this. But y'all members of these churches. I know people be members of churches for years that come, as soon as they leave the church, they talk about the pastor. But you go there every week, oh, this is my family church. But you spend your money there. What's the sense in that? But you show up each week, and the first thing we say is we broke. That's a sad state that we're in. We'll never build a nation with a whole bunch of broke people, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. I try to show people how to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. If the misnomer European was kicked out of every country, the so-called European Jew, and now they rule the world, they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Because we wasteful. Because it don't mean nothing to you. It is the capacity to think clearly, reason, perceive beyond that which is normally considered the contemplation of ideas of infinite concern. A lot of this is nobody concerned. We think somebody's supposed to give us stuff to us. When the person say, what you doing for the black people? I ain't doing nothing for black people. What I'm doing is taking care of myself and my people. I don't take food off the table to feed to the dogs. That's in your Bible. Philosophy bridges the gaps between religion. Philosophy bridges the gaps between religion. Spirituality, knowledge, and insight gleaned from practical experience, the extra reality of the divine and the everyday world. This is not to sanction the teachings of a particular philosopher. I don't sanction the teachings of a particular philosopher. As I get into showing you that it's one nationality and many cultures, I study under a lot of holy men. A lot of them are gone. That's why I'm who I am today. Or their works, but to place emphasis on the practice of abstract thinking, one's personal philosophy or proven knowledge, having been gleaned from lessons in the school of life, extra concepts, religions, and secular ideas, beliefs, or popular philosophies may be accepted and assimilated into one's eternal frame of reference. Thus, it is an individual as well as a collective way of thinking or approach to understanding and the living. I'll give credit to Noble Drew Ali, but his knowledge was limited. Why? Because he died before he could take things further. I'm in the flesh. I use all the tools in my toolbox. That's how I navigate on this earth plane. That's what I tell people. I study under many prophets. It's many prophets and angels in the flesh that was before our prophet. You didn't know that? That's why I don't play no Crips and Bloods and no gangbang. I deal with wisdom and understanding and science, philosophy. I'm a philo. We have our personal views, our vantage points, our way in which we see ourselves and the world around us. This is based on our collective experience and how much accurate information we have effectively processed. This body of knowledge is our frame of reference with which we compare new info, experience, concepts, and from which is developed our personal philosophies concerning different aspects of life. Let us here coin a phrase. We should never measure another person's intelligence by our own. We will usually give ourselves too much credit. Different groups, communities, states, and nations develop a type of collective consciousness, which may be called public opinion or general opinion, neither of which are at any time necessarily true. but normally influences, if not determines, the approved laws, customs, and traditions. Public opinion is affected by the amount and quality of knowledge available in the public sector regarding a given issue with which the population must be concerned. And so that's how people judge their things off the information that they have. And I know the average Negro, I don't care if you've been to college, you only have a tittle of information that was available to you because you weren't introduced to the wisdom like I have and a lot of others been of higher understanding, because it is a level of higher understanding, just like it's levels of higher understanding in everything that you would do in life, from athletics to academia, to martial arts, to finances, to jobs, to being a baby, being an adult, to having a baby mind, which I call a minority mind, to being an adult. And if we don't understand that, we are lost cause. We are lost cause. I'll give you one more, a little bit of that wisdom, and I'm going to proceed. I'm going to give a lesson of love divine, which a lot of our brothers don't have. When they look in the mirror, they don't see themselves as God. When they look in the mirror, they don't see themselves as me, and vice versa. So how can a man love me? Most of these Negroes want to take me out. Most of these dudes, they'll talk so much stuff and never met me in their life. But when I come around, they'll be shaking like Don Knotts in their drawers because they know they can't touch me. They know my spirit is on a whole nother way, and I don't want to bring no harm to nobody. I'm going to love on you, but I'm going to stand my ground. These is facts. These is facts. I don't mind boxing. I don't mind combat. I love combat. When I was a lower student in Wing Chun, I always took on the advanced students. That was way higher than me. I had to build up my heart and my patience to what? To understudy, to get to this level. It took me over 20 years to get where I'm at. And I'm still going. And I still got a long way to go. In the zealous doctrine of Muhammad, the absolute God sent extreme laws for extreme conditions. Buddha's lessons met the need for universal compassion. Confucius taught men to think. That's why on our ID, it says we respect and obey all the laws and the prophets. Buddha, Jesus, which is Yahshua, Confucius, and Muhammad. If I'm lying, check them. So how can these Negroes be gravitating to one science where they miss the essence of the rest? They not an adapt. They just some paper terrorists just regurgitating paper shit. Excuse my candor. And I don't rock like that. I use this, and I use this, and I use this whole spirit. And then to think again. The Christ brought the kingdom of heaven and victory over death. In taking a conscious step into the world of things made manifest, one must decisively choose the way of love instead of hate. And if there be any hope of fulfilling the true purpose of life, how many have tried the life of darkness and been themselves destroyed and brought to ruin by the hatred and the isolation it brings? All of us been there. If you haven't, you lying. And it don't have to be with certain things. It's with all things of the lower self. And by the initial processes of our nature, we learn to be attached in love with physical things and the physical world. When these Negroes, they talk about money, they chasing money. I don't talk about that. Money come to me easily. Why? Because I do everything else. Like I told a noble, listen, if man make money and the creator made man, I'm going to always be in a position to get a bag. Why? Because I'm connected to the source. I'm connected to the creator. I don't focus on the dollar. I focus on all the other things, and that aligns. I be trying to tell people, but they don't get it. It's one chakra that can control the rest. I try to tell people, if your battery is not any good, I don't care what you do to your car. I'll unhook your battery. It'll never start. I focus on everything that means something within, and then the things that's on the outside, it aligns. Why? Because money comes to me easily. I didn't say how much, but I said money comes to me easily. Why? Because I'm in line with the source. I'm in line with the source. I don't have no worries. I align myself. And that's what I tell everybody. Align yourself with righteousness until when people align themselves and get in a line and ride with me, you're going to always be chasing things that don't mean nothing. You're going to get it. You're going to lose it. You're going to get it. You're going to lose it. But how are you going to keep it? The thing about success is keeping it and maturing it. And using your money to make money. Not saying I used to have this and I don't have it no more. What happened? The lower self has captivated you. And we chase things instead of focusing on things that'll keep us in line and to keep our, our roots growing. To keep those seeds to sprout. That's what you want. That's what you want. The noble decision to be a builder rather than a destroyer, which the words of an adept, philosopher, or mason actually imply. Those will become proficient in the understanding and the application of the lessons taught through the various traditional, ancient, and contemporary avenues of philosophical, mystical, and spiritual learning. That's why I say I don't have a problem with my European colleagues. Why? Because they deal with me. I don't have a problem with my European Jews. We have a clear understanding. It's the Negroes and it's the so-called Moors and the so-called woke people that you got to continue to peel back and peel back and peel back and peel back. And when you continue to peel back, it's nothing left. To pose the knowledge of truth, to aid my brother, my sister, to be of use to our country and nation, to uplift ourselves and take every opportunity to participate in the uplifting of others, to know our God and submit to his will for our lives. That's the duty of a man. That's the duty of a noble. But see, carnal men, they never want the light. They love the dark because their deeds are all evil. And every true and divine prophet must contend with the initial rejection and harsh treatment that our message, we almost always universally are rejected at first and never the message that the people desire to hear. But look what's happening now, you know? But look what's happening now. What you say, Red Croc, is crazy how people don't know about this channel. Keep teaching. Hey, Brother Rod, they do. But see, I'm not popular. I'm not doing no niggerly stuff. I'm not saying give me your money and I'm going to nationalize you or denationalize you, which that'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers or forefathers. I'm not promoting no stupid Morse travel ID. I'm not on here lying, talking about I deal with Bitcoin and no Forex, which I do deal with a certain type of finances, but I deal with real things. And I show you how to educate yourself first. I educate people, and education is not popular in my community. It's popular to all the people I deal with. I'm a real person. I'm from Flint, Michigan, Noble Ra. I moved to Arizona and my life changed but how can I say dramatically? When I tutor kids at the library, I lecture at colleges, I teach at different synagogues and different Masonic houses. I deal with different imams. I deal with the metaphysical people. I deal with professors and lawyers and judges. And they're like, well, you just teaching the truth? I volunteer a lot of my time to services. I'm getting ready to travel back to my home city of Flint, Michigan, and fill backpacks to kids that's going back to school. Mufti Moso, I'm on YouTube as well. Anybody that deal with me, all my muftis, I give all my brothers suits because I have companies. I provide fezzes and turbans and regalia, all that stuff to all people that want it. I done put more fezzes on people probably than any more that you and me. This year alone, I put 200 fezzes on brothers and sisters. When I went back to Flint, Michigan, I put 10 fezzes on little kids that's going to school with their fez and their turban on, and their parents are proud of them. I done help kids that was D students. Now they all A students and scholars and have a aptitude out of this world. Fleshly minded men love the empty forms, the pomp and circumstances, the pageantry, and the extravagance of eye-pleasing ceremonies, all the glamour of pretentious, after which there is nothing more required. Peace, Noble Dre. Peace, Noble. Somebody asked me the other day, have I ever heard of a dude named Charleston Wright on the internet? And they were like, you see how he switched up? And he told everybody what he was going to do. He said, I'm going to get on here and be a fool, be a Negro, and watch I be successful. Because he said when he was fighting for people freedoms and their human rights and all this stuff, when he was campaigning for the youth and all that, nobody cared. He said when he was wearing a bow tie, nobody cared. But I never compromised myself for no dollar because I don't need it like that. I don't need no money like that. I don't need to be famous. I don't need to get on the internet and just act a fool and say a whole bunch of stuff to buy jewelry and all that because I got all that. And I got it all righteous. So I never compromise my position for no followers or to be no social media or to go viral. My people should do that. My people should be sharing it. Everybody that's on here, they should be sharing it all on their page. I should be all on y'all pages. Be like, hey, this brother doing this. That's how we bring people to the storehouse. The observant, see, and eager living or ever living all-powerful God in their lives and in their lives of others, even in the malfarious experience of seemingly mundane life. I got TikTok, I got all that. On TikTok, I'm noble on TikTok. My muftis, one of my muftis on here, Dre Sean, Mufti Moso, would you come on YouTube as well? I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Moorish_haberdasher. Then I got my clothing company, Moorish Haberdasher, on Instagram. Then I got myself on Instagram, Idna Hakeem Goodman Bey on Instagram. I'm all over Instagram. With all respect, I'm all over Instagram. All over. Here, all my pages. Here, these are all my Instagram pages. I'm all on Instagram. I'm all on Instagram. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages on Instagram. Adna Hakeem El Bey, Moorish_haberdasher. I am the Moorish trainer. Then our Moorish haberdasher store. And then our temple and school, burningbushtabernacle.ts. I'm all over there. That's why I said when I go on to college campuses and I deal with people in real life, I've been asked to stop doing this. I've been had positions to teach on the college campus, but it's contingent on me shedding all this down. And then no one can hear from me, no one. The person that don't have it, the person that can't go to academia won't get all this. Your kid that may be going to school that want to learn African-American history, they won't get none of this. You know? You said, do you think that people that are playing for the other teams is a mental sickness? Yes, it's a mental sickness. And it's a lack of not knowing. A lot of our brothers and sisters, they be sincere, but they sincerely wrong because they just don't have the information. Now, the issue is when you get the information and then you don't change automatically, that's when they tell you that they have a mission. And a mission is to what? Miseducate your brothers and sisters, like Carter G. Woodson said. And when a lot of these churches, they have got the faith-based initiative. A lot of these misnomer black churches, Baptist churches, the reason why they're successful because they have this thing called the faith-based initiative. You know, I noticed I've been had contracts. I got my dual master degree from GCU. I done got a letter and it was like, man, we'll pay you $150,000 to be a professor, give you a car and all this, but it's contingent on you stop and shut all your Instagram and social media to shut it all down. If I just cared about money, I would have been did that. I could be teaching at GCU. I could be teaching at the University of Arizona, Arizona State. I could be teaching at the community college. I could be teaching at Arizona Christian College. I could be teaching at 5, 6 colleges just for $1. But ain't nobody shutting my mission down. I'm not doing it. Can't nobody pay me enough to shut this mission down. I'm on God's timing. That's why I ask people when they jump on my page, we can't give a donation. That's why I say, man, I'm getting ready to be gone in a minute from love. But let me finish. But yes, it's a mental sickness. I deal with all the crystals. I deal with the medicine bowls. I deal with the crystals. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I was just giving a highlight. I deal with the Orisha. I deal with the Santeria. I deal with the Oshun. I deal with all sciences. I deal with the tarot cards. I have to do it. I deal with the crossroads. I deal with my African culture. I'm gonna touch on that. I deal with it all. That's all part of our culture. And we've been stripped our culture. I deal with it all. I must. I deal with it all. I can show you what crystals that can help your garden grow. You know, this is all a part of our culture. That's why they try to call it black magic, to keep us away from our culture, to keep us away from science. I break this down all the time. I show all my affiliations as a medicine man, as a shaman. I have to do, as I did with the Orisha and the Oshun and the Oligwa. I have to. Is there any phenomena more interesting, thought-provoking, or at times humorous as those few, the self-defined true believers? So I want to end with this. In the view of things, we have to say, of all knowledge, self-knowledge is important, but God knowledge is vitally important. One without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots, and one without the knowledge of God, whatever you want to call it, has yet to become a tree. And I discovered that Even anger is good energy when you harnessing it and is focused by the power of a concentrated thought. Is effective fuel and motivating power, capable of energizing you, enabling us to perform the most difficult tasks or endure the most strenuous circumstances in order to reach our desired goals. And some elements and practices of modern business have had perhaps unintended, but nevertheless devastating effects on the mental health. So I'll give you all this last part of adapt wisdom. To take one's place in the world, one must of necessity be determined to act according to law. And those that abide within the law, don't get caught up when I say citizens, are law-abiding citizens, stay in contacts, can demand equal protection and application of lawful directives to the body, the people, and government, which are regulated by law of the land, and to which the law gives life. All others are criminals, aliens, undesirables, existing outside the sheltering parameters of the law. Outlaws are classified and treated as enemies of the peace and retain the barest rights under this Constitution. So I wanted to stop right there with that little bit of reading. Give me 1 second. Let me use the restroom. I'll be right back. What happened to my original book?
Yeah, what?
My little red book that I had with the liquid on it. What happened to my cards that I had up here on the table?
Hmm?
My cards, my tarot cards that I had here. Then I had that little red book that I had on the table. So give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, Lord. I'm just trying to find something for my part 2. Here we go. I'm just trying to find something for my part 2. So, this is my part 2. When I tell brothers and sisters, I deal with all sciences. I deal with my Ishu, my Ligwa. When I show y'all all symbology, like I said, I done traveled so many places. A lot of stuff was given to me. A lot of people that's not cultured, they may not know what they're looking at, but those that's cultured, they may. A lot of things are given to me from my spirit. Everything that I'll be wearing, everything is given to me. Everything is given to me from my spirit, from ancient ones. And they put their voodoo on them, bless it. When I met this lady from Bay. Where's that lady from the continent of Africa? What's she from? Ghana?
Yeah.
I met a lady from Ghana out here that had her own metaphysical store and cultural store. As soon as I walked in, she was like, oh my God, you on fire. And I'm like, no, I'm not, but I knew what she was saying. She was like, but your spirit. And we talked, and I'm her minister, and she come from a place of all medicine mans, I'm gonna touch on that. You talk about our people right here. Right here. Like this where the Louisiana Purchase was so-called. They didn't purchase it. When I show y'all the map, I got the map from Louisiana. It's called the ground plans for the Louisiana Purchase. I got all the maps. When I used to travel, when I was in college, I used to lecture and go to these museums. I done been to all the museums. I've been to the Jim Crow Museum. I've been to the Olmec Museum. All these places. I've been there. Fire and anger, it's no difference between fire and anger. It's how you channel it. Remember, it's how you channel it. It's how you channel it. Fire and anger can be good when it's channeled a certain way. That's the higher and the lower. So, when I talk about the Ishu, Aligwa, Aligba, when I talk about the Santeria and the Orisha and the crosswords, a lot of things are given to me. As I travel, as I was dealing with academia, I say a lot of us are not cultured. How are you going to be adapt, a Sufi, a Sheikh, a medicine man, a shaman, and don't understand everything that I'm saying. Sorry, man. I just have to keep taking these calls. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all, man. I just gotta take my time. I had a long day, man. I got so many. As I'm transitioning, man, to travel out of the country, I'm just getting things in line. So apologies, man, for me taking my time. Okay, apologies. I just have to do this before I finish. Ah, I'm doing like three things at one time. So apologies. So I don't know. People asking me questions about the solar maximum. The maximum, you talk about the period of increased solar activity that occurs roughly 11 years during the sun's 11-year solar cycle. It's marked by the sun's magnetic field reaching its maximum activity level and the flipping of the magnetic poles. When I talk about poles, my muftis know what I'm talking about, between the sun's hemisphere. This flipping point causes the north hemisphere to become the south and vice versa. So when you look at the ground plans for Louisiana Purchase, you're going to see the south up top and the north at the bottom. And I just give you all that little tittle of wisdom. You see Jerusalem and Egypt and all that stuff right by each other. I broke this down about maps. A lot of stuff I break down in a lot of different teachings. I've done this a plethora of times. So I deal with a lot of science. I have to. I'm able to do this. In academia, I've done it. I deal with metaphysics. I deal with all type of sciences, you know, because I love it. I love it. So I even talk about the DMT, the spirit molecule, that a lot of individuals, a lot of unmelanated individuals, they take foreign drugs like ecstasy. They even take this DMT powder and it makes them hallucinate. But I show you how you don't need foreign drugs. You don't need a substance. This is already in you when I unlock your Kundalini. See, we already are born with the spirit molecule, with the DMT. We born in this. We born with this. But others have to take holistic drugs to get to that level. It's a practice and the way I live every day. So when I tell y'all I deal with different sciences, I don't know if anybody ever heard of Sheikh Bambu Fall, Sheikh Amadou Bamba, a Sheikh Sufi. I had the pleasure to study and under with a lot of my brothers and sisters from the Senegal. I know my Mufti, Mosa on here, he understands what I'm saying. I studied with a lot of great minds and a lot of great thinkers. No one can put me in a box. No one, no man, no woman, no more science temple. I'm way past a temple. I give respect. I'm a Sufi. I'm a Tasawwuf. I tell you who I am. I love Noble Drew Ali, but that's where it stops with me. That's where it stops with me. I'm on the path of the Sheikh. When we talk about Ibram Fall, the Babu Mordain, they were Moors. They were Moors. You see, the Mordain, they were Moors. His parents was Moors. I tell y'all, it's one nationality, many cultures. When I tell people, don't let nobody get you caught up in a court or in that bull crap, and they not cultured. A lot of these brothers couldn't leave the streets that they grew up on because they just can't. They're not operating on science. They not operate on the synchronicity, you know? And I don't want to stay too far in it, but I'm just showing y'all my connections and what I do, you know? They don't understand A lot. They don't. A lot of our brothers, they have no understanding of what I'm saying. When I talk about Serene Tuba means the master of Tuba, and Kadim. Rasul means privileged servant or prophet. And when I go places, a lot of people call me Rasul, or they call me Serene Tuba. It means the master of Tuba, and Kadim. Rasul means the privileged servant of the prophet. Peace be upon him. That's what I have plenty names. Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba. He was born in 1270 in Hijra, 1852 to 1853, in the city of Magbi Bal, a city founded by his grandfather. His parents were of the Tukulur ethnic group and moved to Senegal from Mauritania. Both of his parents were descendants of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. His mother's name is Mama Diara Balso, and his father's name is Mor, M-O-R, Anta Salih. They were both very famous in their region. Among the Islamic scholars of Senegal, Mama Diara Bousso was recognized as a perfect saint, which we call a Wali Kamal, during her lifetime, and the Basu family was known to be descendants of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that had many Islamic scholars who exemplified purity. His father was the highest advisor, the Adi Al, also spelled C-A-D-I and Q-A-D-I, to the king in the district of Kayr. He had one of his most famous Islamic schools in his time. The Senegalese recognized him as one of the biggest alims, which is Islamic scholars of the time. I understand what brother. I deal with all science. Dr. York could tell you he a more. The only thing Dr. York did is implemented his book in all the holy tablets, and the Metanether, and the coming forth by day by night. They all was Moors. They were the Fez. I'm telling you, I know about all them brothers. I know about all them brothers. I know about all Dr. York. I have all Dr. York books. I have all of Yahweh ben Yahweh books. But sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely. I deal with the power and the source. Nobody can, it's nothing new under the sun. You know, I know about Dr. York and his followers. You know, that's why I never debate no one. I don't have no plight in that. I deal with the wisdom of men. But sometimes when you have a lot of power, it can corrupt you. Absolutely. You know, but I'm down with that. All Dr. York books are valid. It's all ancient manuscripts. Most people just don't have the ancient manuscripts and the sources. Just like all the ancient books, what I broke down the other day from the Moorish Quran, the Unto Thee I Grant, the Brahmin text, the Avistas, you know, the Upshads. You know what I mean? It's so many books. Atlantis of Latter Days. Those are the books that they get the wisdom from. And a lot of brothers, they just don't have those books. If Dr. York sat right here, Noble Drew Ali, I'll pull out all the ancient manuscripts where they wrote from. And they'll be like, yep. And I'll be like, I know. It's no slander. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. When I deal with the Orthodox, when I deal with the Twahido, I have people that got their Abyssinian church out here. My Ethiopian Abyssinian brothers. I deal with all my brothers and sisters. I don't hate on no one. I don't have a hate bone in my body. But when we act like one is better than the other, then we messed up. Then we all messed up then. You know? I deal with it all. This is the liturgy book of the Ethiopian Orthodox Twahedo Church. I have to know this because when I deal with my different brothers in different cultures, I have to deal with it. I have to deal with it. I don't diss no one. I got all Dr. York's books, a plethora of them. If you look at the manuscripts, you will know they old Egyptian tablets. It's no disrespect. He just put his head on them and he put modern, how can I call it, caricatures in the image of the ancient pictures. It's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to the brother. None. I come from no disrespect. When I talk about the chosen ones, when I talk about Wentworth Matthews, all you got to do is go on the internet and pull up Neville Goddard. This is a European high thinker back in the day. And then you pull up the Ethiopian rabbi that saved Neville Goddard. Watch this. Watch this. And the European to tell you who's the wise man. Watch this. Watch this. That's why I tell you people in first century, they didn't have a problem with telling it how it is like I do. There go Neville Gooder, and that's the Ethiopian rabbi that saved his life. You can pull that up on YouTube. You can pull that up on YouTube. And you see this picture right? You see that brother right there? You see the brother right here? Oh, I didn't mean to play the film. You can pull it up, Neville Gooder and Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi. Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi. Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi. When we gravitate to the European, we think, no disrespect, we think that the white man is so powerful, the Trinidad is so powerful, the Albion is so powerful. Man, they came to the continent of Africa, Ethiopia, Akibalan, Amexima, and got the sign from you. When I talk about Pascal Beverly Randolph, when I talk about Alex Crowley, when I talk about Adam Blavatsky, they all came to the continent of Egypt, and they'll tell you they got their wisdom from the prophet. I'm telling you what I know, and it's no disrespect. You see this brother right there? Now watch, I'll show y'all right in here. Watch when I show you right here in the chosen ones, where it's our own people that's not cultured. It's our own people that's not cultured. You see this picture right here? You see that picture right here? Here we go right here with Neville Gooder. Neville Gooder giving all praises to Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi, right here in your face. So when Europeans and Albions or whoever come to me with that crap, they already know who I am when I'm coming. It's our people. It's our people that act like Crips and Bloods. And now let me read something to you. Rabbi Ford in a turban. Listen to what I'm saying. Turbans were commonly used in the black spiritual churches and signified the mystical East when used by black religious magical workers. I hope brothers listen to what I said. Turbans. This is Rabbi Ford in a turban. Turbans were commonly used in black spiritual churches and signified the mystical East when used by black religious magical workers. So when you wear that turban, it's not for fashion. You should be a magical spiritual worker like all my muftis are. It takes training. It takes discipline. That's why I don't argue with my brothers and sisters. I'm not going to waste my time. Just like when the Moors, they had their choir, Rabbi Ford and the BBA choir in front of the BBA storefront in Harlem. They had all this back then, and we can't do that now. We can't come together. That's why I'm taking my talents out of the country. June 30th, 1925, the original caption for this photo said that the congregation is gathered from all parts of Africa and also from South America and the West Indies. In addition to his religious duties, Rabbi Ford conducts a vocal and instrumental music group, particular attention being given to the Hebrew and the Arabic melodies. The Hebrew and the Arabic melodies. The Hebrew and the Arabic melodies. Here you go, right here. All ancient books. And I'm only sharing a tip to what I have. I have a whole office with everything. I have a whole storage unit with over 1 million books and documents. I have a whole database with over 1 million books and documents. Google spent $25 million doing the work that I'm doing. If I had $25 million, I already have schools all over the state. Here go the picture right here that everybody like to post on Instagram. You see Wentworth Matthews? He got his Hebrew stole on. I have a plethora of these stoles. They was given to me by rabbis. I have about like 8 or 9 of them. I have about like 8 or 9 of these stoles. Hold on, let me show y'all 1 second. Hey, Brett, what are you doing? A lot of these was given to me by rabbis, in the science. I don't have to buy nothing. When I go places and when I teach people, I be anointed with things. And then I anoint my muftis. Because we think this stuff comes from somebody else, and this is our culture. It's all your culture, and you just don't know. I have so many of them that was given to me. When I deal with a lot of my different culture, and when I deal with a lot of different priests that I met out here, I teach their children. I blow the shofar, the ram's horn, every morning for some. So it's just a lot of our people that just not cultured because they don't have a rich history or a rich education. See, I got a plethora of them, and they were all given to me. Each one. That's ancient Hebrew on there. These are on all four corners. On all four corners of the stove. On all four corners of the stove. The science is on there. Let me fold this stuff back up and I'll proceed, because I'll be pulling out so much stuff, man. And you hear about everything there. She like, yeah. And I got to make sure I put everything back. But I'm on good time. So that's why I say, man, I'll never die poor and broke. A lot of my teachings, the misnomer black person they'll never be privileged to sit in my systematic teachings when I travel. Because we hate each other and we think it's only one science. I told y'all, a lot of brothers act like Crips and Bloods with this. They get a small tittle of wisdom and then they start dissing everything else. And I said, that's sad. If I teach you how to multiply, or if I teach you addition and subtraction, that's just one tool. Then I teach you how to multiply. Then I teach you how to divide. Then I teach you how to deal with formulas and things. You know, when I start teaching you different forms of mathematics, you don't diss none of the sciences. Those are tools in the toolbox, because you may have to come back to one of those disciplines and use that discipline to solve a mathematical equation. You see what I'm saying? You might have to use that. And so, look at this picture. Y'all see that picture? Now you see the American flag and the so-called flag of Israel in the back. But this was a time before Israel was even created a country or a state, whatever you want to call it. You see it's white and blue with the pentagram in the middle. If you take a good look at that, it got the pentagram in the middle. This is before the United States was even created a country, a state, whatever you want to call it. You see Wentworth Matthews right in the middle with his stole and his fez on. You see that with his stole and his fez on? Now let me read the Hebrew science on the top, and let me read y'all what they banner say. Let me read y'all to y'all what they banner say. It says, Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews. This was in 1920 Harlem. 1920 Harlem. Photographed by James Van Der Zee. This is in all newspapers. This was in the 1920s. Now you know Israel wasn't a country or a state until a long time after, about 1940 something. This is the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews. That's what it say. Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews. Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews. Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews. It's our own people that's lost and out here acting like some Crips and Bloods. They'll never be able to leave their neighborhood. It's sad. And I've been telling people for a long time, I'll check you from love, but then if you still choose to operate on hate, man, I'm walking right past you. We was in Spain. We was in Europe. You were all different nationalities. You know, you were all different things. You were all different things. So when a person would talk about all the different sciences, man, I deal with all my tarot cards. Remember, this is just the tree of life. I was going to talk about that today, but I'm gonna hold that for a DAP class Saturday, and I'll show y'all the books. What I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna talk about the cannabis Christ, and I'm gonna talk about the shishat, the female spirit. And when you see the shishat, that's the female spirit, but the cannabis is the tree of knowledge and evil. And I'm gonna show you how it's an allegory and why the church people keep you away from things, because there ain't no light or ain't no truth in them. They just not adapt. I don't blame them, but they just not historical. I deal with all my tarot cards. I deal with it all. I have to. This is my Navigator's tarot card of the Mystic Sea. That's my Mystic Sea tarot cards. All my muftis, I done this on all my muftis already. I done did it. I do my tarot cards on my wife. I do tarot cards on all my members, so I know how to deal with them. And then when I deal with the clock of destiny, I know how to deal with the astrological signs. So I know my wife personality, she know mine. I know the positive and the so-called negative of everything that I do. I have to have a clear understanding of everything. And then I deal with my Orisha tarot cards. I deal with my Orisha tarot cards. I do this all myself. And I do this on individuals. When I look at them, I know a person with their birth chart and everything off the top. I don't believe in no lucky rabbit's foot and all that fake stuff. I don't believe in that. I believe with the science, because science and mathematics never let me down. I know a lot of my people, my Ethiopian people that deal with Haile Selassie, that deal with the Kibra Nagas. I love my brothers and sisters. I done been to all these places. A lot of stuff that I got has been given to me. But then you get a lot of people, no disrespect, like Dr. York now, then he started dissing people who were like, oh, they think they're God. And I said, well, who do you think you are, sir? That's what I'm saying. We're supposed to give homage to all great men before us. And in some of Dr. York books, he trying to say that these people are the Antichrist. I don't deal with that. I don't deal with that hate. I deal with all good men that done a good for their people. You can't replace all the good that these people done. You can't. You can't. And when we come from that lower self, what happens? What happened? I told you absolute power corrupts absolutely. They say that Dr. York's supposed to did this and did that. Okay, whatever. But I know the case. I know people recanted their recant. See, I read documents. I know why he locked up. I know who said this and then tried to recant everything. But I told you, absolute power corrupts absolutely at all times. No disrespect. And so when I deal with my other brother, Credo Matua, peace be among him. See, the European got rich off Credo Matua. David Icke, research David Icke. When I tell people, y'all need to start interviewing me myself, because I'm not letting no disrespect, no European get rich off interviewing me. I have a public relations person now. I've been trying to have all my muftis and everybody to show you how to be a PR. The pub me, it'll benefit you. So now I got somebody, I'm paying them, and they're going to make money off what I'm doing. When I tell people, research David Icke got paid off of Credo Matua. A lot of the monuments and a lot of the artifacts that he have, I have them. They were given to me from old elders of like, man, out of my children not into the science, I want you to have them, sheik, rabbi, medicine man. Why? For you can teach the world and don't give it away. I'm gonna die with these, and when I'm gone, I'm bearing them with me. I'm not passing it on nobody because I'm going to the afterworld. I know this. You ain't got to bury me in no suit or no bow tie. Bury me in my regalia with everything that was given to me from all my different cultures and different medicine men and great men in this world. And I'm taking it with me to the afterlife. When I talk about the Zulu shaman, when I deal with my people from the Zulu, they say, well, you just an educator of sheep. They said, you are the only person that can go to a area with people that's not educated, that don't know reading, don't know math, don't know sciences, don't know how to guard, and you can come to a whole country and teach that. That's a medicine man. That's a shaman. How I know? Because they all told me. That's how I know. I mean, what we talking about? When I talk about the so-called African Americans, when I say the first Americans were Africans, and then everybody that's stuck in that more science of our purpose said we wasn't this. Fool, I didn't say that. I said educate yourself. Stop listening to the words that I'm saying and understand history and linguistics. We were all over the earth. Deal with science, deal with academia, deal with peer-reviewed scholarly research, and stop acting like a damn gangbanger. This is history. I told you, the only misnomer black man can trace himself in the all holy books and the all history books, without a doubt, without a contradiction. I'm showing y'all this. I'm showing everybody this. But these Moors that they act like gangbangers, they lost. When you talk about the pygmy and the short people and all that, I'm talking about you. We were all over this world. The European agree with me. We lost because we're not educated. We don't have no education. And I've done my oral dissertation in a misnomer African-American departments at these universities. Man, all them professors quiet, or they act like they phone ringing, trying to walk out when the students start questioning them. A lot of professors have quit when I do lectures because I show them that they lying and there ain't no truth in them. Especially those black Masons and those ones that's in them Greek fraternities. Them Negroes gonna lie to you in the drop of a heartbeat. When you see all these short pygmy people that they found here in the Americas, the mound builders and all that right here in the Americas. When I talk about the Vikings and the Scarolings, all the people, it's agreed that the Vikings discovered America before Christopher Columbus. But when the Vikings first reached the Americas, they met a people who had already been in the Americas for many thousand years. They met a group of short Africans to whom the Vikings called Scarlings, Skraeling. And the Vikings themselves said that the Scarlings look like African pygmies. I'm telling you, facts. And the evidence points to the Scarlings being in Canada and New England, not only as early as tens of thousands of years ago, but also as late as the same time period of the Lenape, whom they preceded. All history, all history. So I don't waste my time arguing with brothers. When I talk about the spirit of the Magi, look what it got a fez on. But our people be so, or he is upside down. You have no science. When you see what is his name? King Menakaru. King Menakaru in Egypt. You see the woman on the left, you see his left foot forward. That means the power coming from there. The military stole it. Why you think they say left, 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 right, left? Why you see all Egyptians, they have the left forward. When you see this is the dual cross. This is the above, so below. This is the above, so below. So within, so without. I'm telling you, big facts. It's big facts. It's big facts. And then when I was at GCU, all this was given to me. When I tell you that the Igbo is the Hebrew. And they know it. And they know it. They know it. The Igbo is the Hebrew. They know it for a fact. They all know it for a fact. You can't denounce it. Scarlings. Skarling. I might be misspelling it, but I'll put it in the text stream. These were the short pygmy. It's Skraelings. Skraelings. All y'all got to do is put y'all emails on here. My Mufti right here, Greg Maso L. He asking everybody, put your email on here, and he'll correspond with y'all. I invite everybody to class. I do this for small donations. I teach you. And it ain't just about the money with me. Because if it was, I wouldn't be doing this, and I'd just be teaching in the college campus, getting paid swell. Skraelings. And I tell y'all don't have to go nowhere to buy no books. You don't have to go to no Amazon. I have all these. I give people books for small donations. I have book companies, mypdfbooks.com. That's books with the Z, where you can download all these books to your tablet or your cell phone. And then my company that print and bind books is called bindedbooks.com. But when I talk about the Igbo, the Hebrew, you see the stole that the brother got on? The European came to our college and I had to lecture. And he sat down and shut up because he'd been to Igbo land and he know what I'm telling you. I'm not no person that talk about stuff. I know it for a fact. You are the original. We all over this map. We are all cultured. Watch this. I'll give a little introduction. The Igbo. Ona, Na, Iza, Nida, Igbo, Garuba, Garaba, Ben Nuwali, Na, Ekel, M, Uno. It's Igbo language, but in English, I don't want to read it all, but in English, it says that the Igbo people all over the world, greetings, shalom, blessings to Chakwu, Chukwu, Abiami. Watch, I'm going to break all this down to you. Praise be to Yeshua, Jesus. It is my prayer and hope that this book, that this science will be a tremendous blessing from God. I pray that this book will help all Igbos to understand the plans of God concerning them. I also pray that the true identity of the Igbo people will be made known and solidified in the world. May God of Abraham help the Igbo people to take their prophetic destiny and rightful place in Israel, besides their brothers, Judah and Levi, as the tribe of Gad. In Yahshua's name, I tell y'all, man, it's a book called the book Gad and Seer. I'm telling y'all. So acknowledgments. I don't want to deal with the acknowledgments, but I say I wish to express my gratitude and dedicate this booklet first to all of the Chakwu Obama, the God of Abraham. That's what it is in the Igbo. And to the following people. He prayed his wife and all that. And this is a European man. I'm telling you. Rabbi Yehuda ben Shemer, in the service to YHWH, the Elohim of Israel. Remember, the YHWH is a tetragrammaton. And then I showed you in the Hebrew, and I showed y'all in the Negro question where you got the YHWH in the hieroglyphics. And then all the letters break to the YHWH. I showed y'all this a plethora of times. That's why I be laughing at these so-called Egyptian and all this. I said, dude, the YHWH is in the metanetter. If you got the alphabet and the language and the signs and symbols, you know I'm not lying. I done showed this a plethora of times. Watch this. Gad and his sons. Genesis chapter 46 and 16. And the sons of Gad, Zephaniah and Haggai, Suni and Esbon, Eri and Aradi and Arieli. There is evidence that Gad's sons, or the descendants of Gad's sons, Eri, Arli, and Aradi, prior to the Exodus, traveled with the members of various other tribes of Israel, such as Judah, Levi, Zebulun, to Nigeria, and became the Igbo people. It's also evidence that even after the Exodus, at different points in history, before and after the Babylonian, Assyrian captivities, the Gadites and other Israeli tribes made their way down to Nigeria to join their brothers who they knew were already there. So, I'll give you a little bit more. Oh man, what? Let me see what happened to it. I don't know what I did with it. Oh well, but anyway, we know since 1789 AD that Jews have been interested in the possible Igbo-Israel connection when a former Igbo slave named Oloda Equinawu, I got the book, he wrote his own autobiography. It's over here somewhere. His name is Olaudaequuiano. I did it in college. I did an oral dissertation on the whole history. Living in London, first proposed the Igbo-Israelite relationship in his autobiography. It was an Anglican missionary, G.T. Baston, the first to minister to the Igbo, wrote many books which claimed and connection the Igbos to the tribes of Israel. 7 editions of the Britannica in 1929 connected Igbo people to Gad. It's a Torah commentary on the Shema, the SH''MOT. It was written in 1922, made the Igbo-Gad connection. Some Igbos, including Dr. Akidif, recalls Israelis visiting Igbo land and investigating such claims during the Bafarian War. I'm telling you, under the direction of the Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin in October 1995 and in May 1997 under Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel government sent delegates looking for it, and they found it. They went to Nigeria, state to state, town to town, tribe to tribe, quietly observed to see if any recognized Hebraic traits or customs would pop out. And when they made it to Abu Ghad, their search ended as they saw the Igbo, their displayed Hebraicness in their culture. They even saw the ancient stone throne of God and immediately recognized the script at the foot of the throne as Paleo Hebrew. They also visited many sites that have been connected to Erie and the Igbo people, and it was documented on a film later shown in Israeli television. I got the DVD. On March 28, 1996, Israeli ambassador to Nigeria visited Neri and cried acknowledgement that the Igbos was born of the lost tribe of Israel. You know, before he left, he gave Ezi Nari a gift of olives and oil, stating that such gifts were only given to kings of Israel. And the same thing was given to me when I met these brothers. In October the 23rd, 1997, Yitzhak David, an American Jew, a European, and program director of King Solomon Sephardic Federation, was televised visiting the king in Nui, also a king I have personally visited myself. It was during the visit by Zagi David, another delegate, which came with these people. And after much research work on the origin of the Igbos, the archaeological findings indicate that Israel is the true home and they should make a quick comeback for historical reunion. The wild landscapes of Africa, its exotic rhythms and mass dance provide the picturesque background for the tribe, who believes itself to be the descendants of the Israelite tribe of Gad. They interpret their name, Igbo, as a mispronounced Hebrew, Igbo, and how they monetize it, and they call it Hebrew. Until today, the members pray to Chakwu Abama, which is Abraham's God. The Igbos, well known for their struggle for independence in the Biafra War, are now considered the Jews of Nigeria and have contributed greatly to the intellectual and the economic development in that country. Other outreach to Nigerian Jews by the wider Jewish world community gained official status from 1995 to 97, when Israel Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin sent a team to Nigeria in search of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Western European Albion Trailodite rabbis and educators such as Rabbi Gorin, they visited the community at the times, and the Jewish communities in the West support those in Nigeria by sending books, computers, religious articles, etc. However, the state of Israel has, to date, not officially recognized the Igbo as one of the lost tribes. All the European Jew rabbis know. That's why when I lecture in real life, all they do is shut up and listen. And if they start talking, I'm going to pull out all their documents. You know? Let me give y'all another fact. Cultural evidence linking the Igbo to Gad. In 1789, Oluda, Ikuna, and Igbo and former slave. I got the book. If y'all want the book, that's why I tell people, if you give donations, I'll build your library. But we say we don't have nothing. And that's okay. A lot of people are going to be blocked off my page after today. No disrespect. An Igbo and former slave who lived in London said in his autobiography that the Igbos were one of the lost tribes of Israel and cited the many identical cultural similarities between them and the Jews. When the missionaries, aka colonizers, came to Nigeria to evangelize, aka colonize, they were dumbfounded to discover that the Igbo people practiced many Hebraic Jewish customs, which they could not have learned from anywhere else because they ain't had none of their European colonized books. It had to come from the ancient practices of their people from antiquity. For they had no Bibles and met no one with a Bible until the missionaries came along. See, we didn't have no Bibles. And we didn't have no Bibles till the missionaries came along. This was told to us by who? By the shaman and the medicine man and the elders. You know? They found that the Igbos practiced eating of animals that met the biblically clean requirements, as well as the complete draining of blood from the animals, as well as other laws concerning kosher. That's what it's called in Paleo Hebrew. Today we call it kosher. When I don't have no problem with nobody being vegan, but we under a certain diet. We have a concept of clean and unclean, acceptable and abominable or taboo, animal sacrifice like unto the Levitical sacrifice system, belief in a supreme, all-powerful deity, the Chakwu, above all other deities, circumcision on the 8th day, as well as had the naming ceremony of the 8th day, old child, giving names that bear the name or title of God within it, separation of menstruating women, the keeping of a lunar calendar, Shemitah and Jubilee year, the annulment of death and servitude, every 7 and 50 years, burying the dead facing the east, the direction of Jerusalem and the promised land, sitting Shiva, 7-day mourning period, where one sits on low stool, remains unkept, and shaved their head in grief, belief in resurrection, sending the bodies home of Igbos who died outside of Igbo land to be buried like Joseph and Jacob, desiring not to be buried in a pagan or foreign land, hospitality, like unto the traditions and legends known of Abraham, offering water, meal, and lodging to travel, levirate type marriages, brothers marrying deceased brothers' wives to carry on the brother's name. I can go on. And it's many other things. I give you archaeological evidence. You know, among many other Jewish laws and customs were found to be kept by the Igbo people. And sadly, the Christian missionaries and these brothers today, even these so-called Hebrew Israelites that just radical and arguing, and they some bums, no disrespect. I don't give a damn about nobody marching. We marched in the civil rights days. Man, that marching don't mean nothing if you ain't changing no law and policy. I don't give a damn if you got 1 million Negroes marching. Hell, Farrakhan had them Negroes march at the Million Man March. No disrespect to Farrakhan. But if Farrakhan was sitting right here and he was on here, he lied with all that damn Willie Lynch. It ain't no such thing as no Willie Lynch letter. Black wasn't even used to describe ethnicity in the 1st century. And then if you understand language and things, the way things are spelled clearly is off. And they know they've been lying because, and a lot of those brothers, no disrespect, they under Dianetics and they love Ron L. Hubbard. And if they get on here lying, I'll pull out all their documents too. There ain't no disrespect to nobody. All that black stuff, all that roots that Alex Haley plagiarized from a European named Harold Colander, all bullcrap. And then when the black people, they talk about some Kwanzaa, I say, that's some crap too. Kwanzaa came from a COINTELPRO. Who? Ron Karenga. All you got to do is pull up Ron Karenga and see how he tortured women and where he got all that communist stuff from. But see, we take things and be like, oh, this is real. Kwanzaa is some black hit. No, it ain't. That came from Ron Karenga. Kwanzaa is only as old as Ron Karenga, the person that made up the bull crap. If you don't believe me, that's on you. Research it. Research it. Research what I'm telling you. But among these other customs were found to be kept by the Igbo people, and sadly, the Christian colonizers forced them to abandon many of the Hebraic practices because though they resemble biblical worship of God, they believe many have been done away with due to the advent of the Messiah, and they believe they practice these customs unto pagan gods, and as such should be abandoned. The Igbos are slowly beginning to return to the pre-missionary practices, desiring to return to their Hebraic roots. One Igbo man named Abraham, with the A-V, R-A-H-A-M, a cantor of the Nasari Jewish community in Nigeria said, and I quote, "In a nutshell, every law, as stated in the Torah, was being practiced by our forefathers before the advent of Christianity colonizing, except that our fathers went into idol worshiping, but they still kept the tradition as was handed over to them by their forefathers. Also, archaeological evidence, Paleo-Hebrew scripts have been found in various places in the Igbo territories of Nigeria. Drawings like unto the Mogan David, Star of David, has been found in various places of the Igbo land prior to the missionaries' arrival in Nigeria, prior to the colonizing. There is a stone throne at Abu Gad, which confirmed Paleo, ancient Hebrew inscription at the foot of the throne that indicates that the throne was constructed in honor of Gad. There was also an onyx stone found in Igbo land with the Paleo-Hebrew word Gad on it. In 1917, the British discovered about 500 feet below the soil on the palace grounds of a solid bronze Star of David, indicating that the Igbo people may have migrated from the ancient city of David. Moors, we are from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. That's why I'll be laughing at anymore that this anything operating as some Al-Islam Muslim. And then I'll show you it ain't no such thing as an Arab. Period. You are the Arab, the A-R-A-P. All you got to do is get a book. It's called The Arab by Bertram Thomas. And he wrote a whole bunch of plethora of books. I did this on college campus. It's a book called The Arab by Bertram Thomas. And he stayed with the ancient Arab. And then it's a book by Vladimir Dale. And he described what the true Arab is. They always put on blackface, just like in the Netherlands, Swarty Paya, aka Black Pete. They always put on the blackface, but they ain't gonna tell you the history. Look at the Corsica flag in the Netherlands. I already done this in academia. And that's why I said I get more love in academia than I get with people on the internet. But all this get ready to end from love. From love, and it ain't no disrespect. But I'm gonna end it right there, man, and I'll give you all a little bit of how the dress was. The traditional Igbo's way of dressing is more Hebraically authentic than the Orthodox Jews in the West, who adopted their dress from the 17th and the 18th century Europe. I understand, and then I encourage all the Igbos to reclaim their cultural dress, just like when I show the Moors to reclaim their cultural dress. Then somebody asked me, am I a Freemason? Dude, that's what I say. It'd be so sad, man. But whatever, man. I'm whatever you say I am. I'm a spirit builder. I'm a free write. I'm 99 degrees. I haven't took no oath. I'm initiated with science. But a person can call me anything they want to. So if you say I'm a Freemason, that's what I am. The robes are like that, the types of the Israelites used to wear in ancient times. The red chieftain cap and the red and black striped stocking cap serves one kippah or the yarmulke, or the head covering, and the ojo, the fringe shawl, or the Igbo carries the same weight and meaning that the Jewish tallit wear. Research in your Bible, Numbers 15 to 37. So I'll stop right there, man. I'll stop right there. But it's all there. I'll stop right there. I tell everybody what I am. Even when I show y'all in the Exhumed of the Nation, even when I show y'all ancient books, our prophet traveled through the shrine. You have to. I traveled through the shrine by my compass and square. I tell people this. I use my compass to straighten up all my ways. It's just other science that brothers got to understand. I tell people I'm a spirit builder. I'm a Rosicrucian. I tell people this. But what we do, that's the first thing that brother started to ask and accuse. Are you a Freemason? Are you a Freemason? And I say, dude, I'm whatever you say I am. That's what I tell people. All your old elders, if you don't know, they were Freemasons. Dr. Bean was a Freemason. Hell, who else you want to deal with? Farrakhan is a Freemason. I know all their charters. A lot of old men. Carter G. Woodson was a Freemason. Carter G. Woodson was a Freemason. We don't disrespect none of them. So when it just be that internet stuff, when people like, oh, they took an oath and they the ones. No, that most people ain't never been in a Masonic house. They don't even know what go on in a Masonic house. That's all niggardly talk. Because to be one, you must know one. Most people get their information off the internet and somebody disses something because they have no idea. Now, is the Greek a fraud? Yes. And ain't no need it ain't no need to become a Mason if you're dealing with me. It ain't no need. Because I give my brothers and sisters 32 degrees in our divine instruction when I place the tarba and the mithra, which is the turban on your captor or your crown. And I give you the science. And the only way out the fire is through the fire. I continue to try to tell our brothers this, but we get caught up with that internet stuff and people just talking. And then we had a group of brothers, which is the almighty Black Peace Stones. Farrakhan used them for his army. I'll talk about this at another lecture, but I got to get out of here, man. But no, I'm not going to do the tarot cards right now. I'm not going to do the singing bowls right now. I do a lot of that stuff in different things. I've been on here for a while, and it ain't no disrespect, you know. But when people ask me to do things, I do things for my students and for people that give me donations and support what I'm doing. No disrespect to no one. A lot of people will ask me a whole bunch. If I just let people ask me things and answer everything, then I'll be on here all day. And people will want stuff, but they won't give nothing because it don't mean nothing to no one. And no disrespect to no one on this internet or this YouTube. We give our money to other places and people want me to do this and do that, but they don't support. So I'm not just a person where a person just asks me a whole bunch of stuff and I'm gonna do it. I'm not here to prove no point. It's a lot of stuff I would never show on this internet. When I travel out of the country, I never show it. When I do tarot card readings, I never show it. When I put spirits on people, when I touch people, I never show it. I never show it because I'm not doing this for show. But I'm okay with being asked this and all that. When people say, "Are you a Freemason? Are you all this?" And I say, "What does it matter? If I'm here teaching you and I'm not hiding nothing to you, what different from what should that matter? What should that matter?" I ask a person, is your supervisor at work a Freemason? Yep. Is your supervisor at work a racist? Yep. I bet you're going to go to work every day. And I bet you if he said he hate Negroes and all that, I bet you're going to still go to work every day and get that little change. I bet you if you go to school and your kid's teacher is a Klan member, I bet you're going to continue to send your kid to that school, to the public schools. I bet you all the jobs that these misnomer Black people in these churches, they all in fraternities. I bet you your Black preacher is a Freemason, and we don't stop going from there. And I say, and that's what we do, you know, and no disrespect to no one. It'd be sad when our brothers and sisters do that. That's the first thing to come out of their mouth. Am I a Freemason? You know? You say, I have a feeling you putting the majority of women on YouTube doing tarot reading. I don't even know what that means. I have a feeling you putting the majority of women on YouTube doing the tarot card readings. Man, a lot of that stuff you don't even do like that. No, like when all these women ain't doing that, they ain't doing all that. That ain't how you do tarot card reading. You don't even be out there and say, "Oh, pay me to do no tarot card reading." That ain't how that stuff work. I know. She like shaking my head. I know. It's all good though. That ain't how I do things. I don't operate like that. I do things in-house. And tarot reading, one, is for me, and then it's personal. I don't use that to try to attract no one. That's when people in my everyday life. And I do that with my members and my brothers and sisters, you know, So I don't know what you're saying though, but you say, I have a feeling you putting the majority of women on YouTube doing tarot card readings. I don't know. You say, I have a feeling you putting the majority of women on. I'm not putting them on. They associate to your organization. I don't know. It ain't no woman that on YouTube that associate with my organization. If any woman on the YouTube doing tarot card readings, they a lie. Ain't no truth in them. All you got to do is show me. You tell me what woman it is, and I tell you they ain't associated with me. What you say? Yeah, he need to pray and meditate. Real talk. When people saying they think, and I say we don't get paid to think. No disrespect. We got to stop assuming in life. We got to stop assuming things and just arbitrary explaining. That's why I tell a lot of people, a lot of times it's good to not to speak and just listen. But that's what we do in our society. We accuse and we be false witnesses of things. And we should never be a false witness. We should never say what we feel because nobody care about how we feel. We care about what we know and what we can prove. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 is prove all things and hold fast to what is good. We shouldn't get on here and express our feelings. And that's how we fall, because a person will make a decision based on how they feel, not based on the facts. That's like a popularity. I'm gonna deal with somebody because they nice or they said something. That's what I tell us, man. We need to think before we open our mouths. And it's no disrespect to the brother Matthew. When people speak, I have to respond. I don't know no woman on no internet that's doing no tarot card. They ain't a part of my organization. Not one of these women. Because if they were, you on the internet doing tarot card reading is a no-no. It's a violation to people's privacy. That's number one. I never get on here and do no tarot card reading on no social media. That violates people's privacy. And that ain't the mission. Because your tarot card reading might not match you. I got to show you both sides. I have to touch you. I have to feel you. You have to be in my aura. I don't do no tarot card reading on no damn internet. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Thank y'all for taking time out y'all day, for listening to me. I hope our hearts get pure. I hope we start loving each other. I hope we keep our personal feelings buried somewhere and start dealing with what we know. Because a lot of times we talk of things that we believe, and your belief can be based on a lie. What? Believing in things that's untrue, that we can't even prove. And so when a person say, I have a feeling, I say, but it's not based on nothing. It's not based on nothing that no one can prove. Because if a person say they were associated with me, then they'll say it. They're like, this is my teacher. This is my sheik. This is the person I learned a lot of stuff from. And if they on the internet doing things, then they just doing that for money and for fame. And I don't do that. And it ain't no woman on this internet that's associated with me that's teach no tarot cards, because I ain't taught nobody how to read the tarot cards. I haven't even taught my wife how to read the tarot cards, and she right here. Because that's my thing. I don't teach. That ain't nothing I can teach no one. That have to be something it's just like almost the Dogon, when you know how to see things in the other planes without getting a telescope. That have to be something that you have to be taught on for a long time. Not just get some book and read some pages and then flick and then shake your booty and all that on the internet. Talk about I'm reading your tarot card. That ain't how that go. That's a discipline. That takes years. And then once you get that, you don't even need the cards. You can just operate off of energy, and it come to you, and I can pull out the tarot card that match your spirit. Just like when I deal with the astrological signs, it's the same thing. So I give gratitude to everyone, man. I love y'all. And if a person was part of my organization, they'll have their affiliation from my organization. All my muftis, my mufti Dreshan on here, my mufti Moso on here, they all part of my organization. Those are vanguards. Those are my muftis. Of course, that's why I tell people I don't know why they trust the internet. But if you say it's a lot of people that say they get it from me, please show it. Please show me the ladies or anyone that you think, that I'm putting them on or whatever you say. All you got to do is show them. And that's what I tell the people when they accuse or when they say something. Show me all the women that they say they part of me, and I jump on their page and I say, you ain't a part of nothing I talk about. Not one. If any women on here say not one woman apart on the internet is part of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, not one. And if they and they know it, and if they was, they'll be on my page. That tarot card stuff really means nothing if your spirit ain't aligned. That's another thing I'll leave y'all with. Really, the tarot cards mean poo diddly. Cause I know I've been did tarot card readings on people, and they life it be totally different from the tarot cards. They just cards. You got to live their life. And you can change the tarot card. You can be under this tarot card, and as you continue to grow, and as the spirit come to me, and as your spirit engulfs my spirit, your whole tarot can change. How? As you rise up. As you rise up to wisdom, you don't stay lower anymore. You stand up and arise. So your tarot card can change based off your growth. So that's all I got to say, man. I love y'all, man. I give y'all honor. I give y'all gratitude. Thank y'all for listening to little old me today, for taking 2 hours out of your day, which is important. Thank those that had it on their heart to donate to our temple and school. And we use Cash App, $ KG Bay. And those that didn't have it, I still give you gratitude. And when you get in a situation to give a little bit, give a little bit. I don't care if it's $5 or $10. I'm going to treat you just like the ones that give me thousands and give me $500. I share all the wisdom with everyone. I'll build your library. And I really want those that's dealing with me to come private, because I'm getting ready to be done with this. Soon as the season change, I'm starting to travel again. I'm going to be done on my YouTube page. I'm going to be done on all my personal pages. So I please recommend y'all to subscribe to my Temple and School YouTube channel, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And all these teachings are only going to be private for my members and my students, because I do private adapt classes that I don't even share on social media. I got thousands of teachings that I don't even share with social media. They're private for my muftis and my ministers and my students. And so I challenge y'all, if it's on your heart, I have a syllabus, I have an enrollment package, and a lot of stuff that I teach to my students that we don't do it online. And I'm going back to that, to where I teach the adapt science and wisdom to where it's going to be private. I haven't even jumped into high science yet. I haven't even jumped into third heaven yet. I'm still giving a schoolmaster. I'm still repeating things that I've already lectured on a plethora of times. If you go back on my YouTube channel and look at a lot of my other lectures, I have a plethora of lectures on here. I'm just teaching in a circle, you know? So I recommend y'all to subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube page. We have book reading every Friday. We have adapt class every Saturday, and I have Sunday school every Sunday. But as members and students, I teach them privately. That's not on YouTube. I share wisdom with them that's not on YouTube. So with that being said, man, once again, I give everyone honor. I give everyone glory, you know? I don't study nobody. No disrespect. Brothers, please. I don't study no man. You study a guy called Booker. I can't remember his name. I don't know Booker who. I don't know. Like I said, I told people, I don't know nobody. I don't affiliate with nobody. I don't affiliate with nobody. No disrespect. It's a lot of good people in this world, but when people be asking me, do I know this person? I don't know them. I don't know no Moors. I don't know nobody that's on the internet. I don't know them. Is some people saying great stuff? Yes, they are. It's a lot of good teachers in this world, but I don't know nobody, no guy called Booker. I don't know. You say you can't remember. I don't know no guy called Booker. With all respect, don't know no guy called Booker. I know Devin Booker that played for the Phoenix Suns. I know that person, Booker. I know Devin Booker that played for the Phoenix Suns, but I don't know no guy called Booker. You study a guy called Booker. I don't even know what that is, brother. I don't know. Do you study a guy called Booker? Maybe you can tell me about the guy called Booker, because I don't know no guy called Booker. I don't know who sent this person. I don't know. Some dude named Matthew just asking me a whole bunch of questions. I don't know no guy called Booker. That's why I be telling us we do this stuff and we just be all over the place. No disrespect, man. I don't be wanting to Booker T. Coleman. Booker T. Coleman. That's what you asking me about? Tell me who's Booker T. Coleman. I'll wait. So I'll give you the time. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about an elder. You talking about this brother? You talking about this brother. That's what you're talking about. I know this is who you're talking about. I've heard of elders. A lot of these people are older than me. I'm 48, so I give credit where credit is due. Yeah, I know that's what you're talking about. That's why I tell people, I say, man, I know who people are. I've been all over. I've been doing this work for a long time. I give credit to all good men that do things. It's a lot of good men that teach and lecture. I'm one of them. I don't have no plight with no one. I give everybody their credit, but I have members and I have students. It's a difference from a person that just lecturing or a person that just speak, and which is good, or a person that just a lecturer, or how can I say, an activist. You have lecturers and you have activists, which I'm all that too. But I'm also a mapper and a guide and a teacher. And I have muftis and I have understudies. So that's the difference with me. And I have a temple and a school. So, but yes, I know who Booker T. Coleman is. I know who a lot of elders are. I give credit to all great men. I give credit to all great men. Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Amos Wilson, Dr. Francis Cross Wilson, Chancellor Wilson, Ivan Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop, Amos Wilson. I give credit to all good God men that did something for the upbringing of the people. David Imhotep, the PhD, Stanley Lane Poole. I give credit to all God men. I tell people this, and I hope they listen. There's no bias with me. So Saturday for adapt class, I'm going to be going over the 7 seals, and I'm going to be going over the cannabis Christ. When I'm going to show y'all some stuff symbolically, it's going to blow your mind. When I talk about the shishat, when I'm talking about certain things in the hieroglyphics that people not going to share with you because they're not under the science and they lost due to a lack of knowledge. I don't promote smoking or weed or anything, but I'm going to show you allegorical things. I'm going to show you what the truth of knowledge and wisdom consists of. I'm going to show you what the shishat really meant. I don't know if he be on YouTube. Brother, come on now, Matthew. Come on, Matthew. Stop, man. I don't know if he be on YouTube, but I'm sure he do. I'm sure he do. And if you study him, gratitude, because the brother say some great stuff. And that brother is a great teacher in his right. He's a great teacher in his right. Yes, he is. He have a plethora of wisdom. Yes, he do. He have a plethora of wisdom. So it's all good. It's all good. But I'm going to show y'all about the shishat and what's in the hieroglyphics and what they're not going to show y'all. So I give gratitude to everyone. But like I said, man, brothers and sisters, please be respectable when I'm on here. Please. And please don't ask me a whole bunch of stuff that's out of context. I ask that for brothers. Please just don't be throwing stuff at me. Do I know this person? Do you know this person? Because then people be all out of context. And I call that a scatterbrain. No disrespect. Please stay in context. I never get on nobody's page and be asking them, do you know this person? Do you know this person? Why? If I'm there to learn, if I'm there to listen. But a lot of us, we don't have any, how can I say, any courtesy. When I ask if you come to a lecture at my university or at a college that I lecture at, because I lecture at a lot of colleges, you wouldn't just be raising your hand, asking me, do I know about this person? A person and a lot of students, they'll ask you politely to please get the hell out of here. With all respect, because they'll be like, man, this person is all over the place. This brother is lecturing on specific topics. Why are you asking this man, do you know this person? Do you know this person? And that's totally out of context. And so that's why I try to tell brothers to get some rules and regulations about ourselves first. Get some rules and regulations. I know we got a lot of questions, but when I'm lecturing or something, please stay in context. And if a person want to ask something, be a student and ask it in the right atmosphere. But don't get on when I'm lecturing and then the first thing they want to do, they want to get on asking me 14,000 questions about, do I know this person? And am I this? And am I that? And that to me, that really perturbs me. With all love, brother. With all love. And I don't mean no disrespect to you. I get that all the time from brothers. And I block most of them. But I'm letting you stay here because I feel your energy. But I block the majority of brothers that get on here with no respect and go all over the place when I'm lecturing. And when I lecture from a specific topic, they get to ask me 15 million things. What you say, Empress, some of us don't know better. He wasn't taught the right way. And a lot of us wasn't. But I give you love, brother, with honor. I give you love and I respect your desire to learn. I know why you asking me this. I don't put a stamp on nobody. I let you discern. I give you the tools in the toolbox, because if you listen to anybody and they start dissing stuff, Well, all of it comes from a source. They just don't know how to synchronize it. And anytime somebody is dissing a science, to me, that's asinine because you don't diss any sciences. Those are tools in your toolbox that you should use. I'm under the triple rose, which is the Paraclete, the Fatimite, and the Jerusalem. I have a clear understanding of all of it. And my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because they refuse to learn. So once again, I give y'all honor, I give y'all glory, and I give you love, young brother Matthew, for being curious. But it's a way to do things. It's a way to do things. And it's a way to do things respectably. And it's a time and a place for everything. So I want us to treat me in a certain way that I would treat you if you lecturing. I wouldn't do that to you. I would get with you in a certain time, or I would give a donation and I say, brother, I have a couple questions, you know. I'll say, I have a couple questions, brother. My name is such and such, such and such. I was at your lecture. You know, I gave some donations. Thank you for the book that you gave me for the small donation. But I have a question, blah, blah, blah. That's the way to do things. That's how it's welcoming to me. But it don't be welcoming to me when a person starts shooting a whole bunch of stuff to me as I'm lecturing on specific topics, because I'm going to read everything. I'm a fast reader. I'm trying to re-educate my brothers and sisters to do things the right way and not to be all over the place. So with that being said, once again, man, I give y'all honor. I give y'all love. I give love to all my muftis and my ministers for being with me and rocking with me. I give my empress all love for allowing me to do this work. You know, what you say, empress, he should be old enough to learn better. A lot of us, just because we at a certain age, empress, we don't know no better. You know, age has nothing to do with maturity and how we've been taught. We can be physically alive and spiritually dead, walking with our eyes wide shut, bumping our head continuously because we don't have any class and courtesy. But when you're dealing with me, oh, you're going to learn today. If not, I'm blocking you, point blank. And I block them for life. And I don't care how nobody feel about me, period. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Until we meet again, peace. And thank you for everybody that gave a donation. What you said, no, but don't block me, brother. I just want to learn. I get it, man. But I get this so much. I've been doing this for years, y'all. And I be getting these same brothers that go to prison and all this, and then they wives be calling me. Even my empress will tell you, brothers that I try to help and save, they'll call me, call this brother, he in Arizona. I've been kidnapped. But I said, you ain't been kidnapped, fool. You done said some dumb stuff and got yourself arrested. These people that's be wanting to get a little tittle of me and go get themselves in trouble. So I don't rock like that. I don't rock like that. I get so many emails every day, brother, I've been kidnapped. You ain't been kidnapped. You a sovereign citizen. You a domestic terrorist. Listen to these Negroes on the internet. That's what you are. You got to admit that, and you got to pay for your crimes. I be trying to warn people. I be trying to help people, but they don't want to listen. And then as soon as they get their freedom took, hey, babe, call this sheik in Arizona. And then their wife call me, and I hang up in their face. So I'm out of here, man. Peace and love. Us is mad. Yeah, a lot of brothers is mad. They sure is. They crazy. They sovereign citizens. But I love y'all, man. Peace out to you, brother Matthew, and peace out to everybody that was here today. Gratitude, man. Peace, love, light, and illumination.